Hey guys, so it is the end of the year. 2014 has come and gone and we are about to embark on 2015, so I thought I would do a end of the year wrap-up video. So I'm just going to do a complete year-end review, especially since we're new to BookTube, so you guys haven't seen all the books that I have read this year. So yeah. The first two books that I read this year I got for Christmas last year, and they are two biography memoirs, and that is Melissa Explains It All by Melissa Joan Hart and Choreography by Corey Feldman. I loved both of these books. They were really great reads. It was great to see kind of the background info on some of my favorite stuff that I've watched with both of them. You know, Sabrina the Teenage Witch was one of my all-time favorite shows whenever I was little. It's still one of my favorite shows today. In fact, I've got 50 of them recorded on my DVR. You know. And then Corey Feldman, I love a good chunk of his movies that he's in. He's just one of my favorite actors, so I was really excited to read this one, and these are both great reads. The third book that I read this year is Psych! Mind Over Magic by William Rapkin. This series has 5 books in it, and they're basically just companion series to the TV show Psych. It's one of my favorite TV shows, and these books, they're a little cheesy, a little easy to read, you know, nothing too fantastic about them, but I love them so much. This is the second one of the 5 books. I'm hoping to read books 3, 4, and 5 next year, because they're really easy reads, and they're just a lot of fun. The next 3 books, I kind of went on a little bit of a John Green kick. And that is The Fault in Our Stars, Paper Towns, and Looking for Alaska. I don't currently have Looking for Alaska at the moment because it is lent out to somebody, but I do own it, and all 3 of these books I absolutely loved. They're fantastic. The movie for this was great. Can't wait to see the movie for this one. So yeah, like I said, I went on a little bit of a John Green kick. The next book I read this year was Sleepy Hollow. I didn't really care for it too much. It was just really hard to kind of get into, but I read it for a book club, so there's that. The book after that I read was Orange is the New Black. I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked the TV show a whole lot more. Seeing the Netflix series before reading the book was probably a bad idea, because there's just so much that's different from book to Netflix show that I was comparing it too much. But it is a good book, and I did enjoy reading it. It's just not one of my favorites, and I got it from the library, so I don't actually physically have it. The book after that I read because the movie was coming out. Sadly, I saw the movie in the middle of reading the book because a friend of mine really wanted to go see it, so we went to go see it before I even finished reading the book, which I don't like doing. But that's what happened, and that is If I Stay by Gail Forman, I believe is the author. Again, I don't have a physical copy of this book. It's on my Kobo, but I really did enjoy that book. I'm looking forward to reading the second one, but I'm not too sure when I'm going to pick it up. Like, it's not something that I have to read, like, right this minute. The book after that I borrowed from somebody, and that is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. Lots of words for that book. I'm just gonna leave it at that. The next book that I read, which I absolutely loved, and I loved the movie as well, even though it was a lot different from the book, is The Maze Runner by James Dashner. Really, really enjoyed this book. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would, and I cannot wait to finish out this trilogy. The next book, which I have mentioned multiple times on this channel that I read, is Yes, Please by Amy Poehler. After that, I reread Mockingjay for the movie, Mouse and Mouse 2, the graphic novels about World War II, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Jason by Laurel K. Hamilton, and In Real Life by Neve Sheilman. Again, I'm not really going to go into any of these because I've talked about them on various different videos, so go check those out if you're interested. The next books that I have read, however, are the entire Harry Potter series, books 1 through 7. Can't believe I finished them in a month. I give big props to audiobooks for me being able to finish them within this month. The audiobooks were pretty good, and hey, they count. They're still books, right? So that's that entire series because of Merry Christmas to You this month going on. It was a lot of fun. Really glad that I got to reread those books, and now I don't have to worry about rereading them next year because it was my goal to reread them next year, but I've already done it. And then the next book that I read, and that is Unholy Night by Seth Grahame-Smith. These last 3 books that I read this year were part of the Christmas Booktubeathon, so you can go check out my wrap-up video on that to get my thoughts on all these books. But that is How to Survive a Garden Gnome Attack, Scorched Trials by James Dashner, the second of the Maze Runner trilogy, and Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. Alright, just kind of cut in real quick because I forgot to mention one of the books that I read this year, and I don't know how I forgot it because this thing is huge, and that is the first colossal edition of Attack on Titan. This is a manga book, and it's, like I said, it's huge, but it's pretty, if I can... So my cousin gave me this book to read because it's one of her favorites, and I really enjoyed it. I really want to know what happens. I want to know what's in his basement. So I can definitely see myself picking up, you know, the 6th volume. I don't think another Colossal Edition is out yet. I'm not really too sure how many volumes are out. I know at least the 6th volume is out because this one holds the first 5 volumes of the series, and again, it was really good. And what I liked about this edition, which this is my cousin's copy, I will be giving it back to her shortly, but what I did love about this is not only was it a really quick read because it is a manga, even though it's ginormous, but there are occasionally colored photos, and oh my goodness, these colored photos are just spectacular. It's definitely a change from all of the black and white that is in it, but once you get to, I think I just passed another one, but once you get to, you know, one of the very few colored photo spots, it's just, they're so well done, and it's really beautiful. But yeah, turn it around. So I also read this month, well, I did read it this month, but this year, so hopefully I will continue the series in 2015. So those are the books that I read this month. Again, not a ton of books, but that's a lot of books for me. Last year I think I read maybe 4 books because of school, so my goal this year was 20. I definitely surpassed that thanks to Merry Christmas to You and the Booktubeathon. So keep an eye out in the next couple of days for a 2015 goals book-wise from me, and I hope you all have a wonderful new year. I hope you had a great Christmas, great holidays, and I will see you guys soon. Bye! And that is Looking for Alaska, Paper Towns. This is not Looking for Alaska. This is The Fault in Our Stars. And that is The Fault in Our Stars, Looking for Alaska. Yeah, this is not Looking for Alaska either.